Okay, hey guys, it's Shannon with Shannon's Garage, and I just want to show you something that the depth finder picked up the other day while we were fighting with the boat broke down. So basically, you know that Flytech cheap Walmart boat that I bought. It turns out the board's bad inside of it. Uh, so I had to order a new one. I don't know. It's going to take a week or so, or maybe even a little longer to get it back. And I don't really have anything here that will replace that. I looked, but basically when we took it out, it would get about 6, maybe 8 feet out, and it would lose signal with the transmitter. And so I had no controls, and basically at that point the boat was just floating off with my deeper sonar finder attached and whatnot. So that didn't work out too good. But the deeper and the idea worked really well, even though we weren't watching it. We were out there. Matter of fact, Randy couldn't cast it out far enough because he had a lure on, and let me turn this up. But he had a lure on his thing. He couldn't cast it out far enough to get it, so I had to come back in and get one of my catfish rigs and throw it out, and we ended up hooking it and bringing it back. But meanwhile, while it was doing all that, we weren't looking at what was happening with the GPS or with the sonar finder. So that's what I wanted to show you. So let me do this. Get out of here and go back. Okay, so look, we didn't even know that this had recorded, because I was sitting here trying to get this thing to connect before, but it recorded at 114 for 13 minutes, which is basically where it floated across the lake. So let me show you. So there's the GPS. It's showing you about where I was at when it started or whatever. And I'm going to move this out a little bit. Somewhere. Okay. So there's the GPS. Now as it goes, it's going to show you where it's going. But this is what the thing was seeing. Again, while I probably looked at this part, and then I started to look out, and the boat was floating off, and I was like, oh shit, so I had to go get it. But you can see it's just 10, 11 feet here. Nothing, no, it's not really deep, but there's some grassy area. This is probably like, it's picking up something there. So I don't think it's fish. It's more like vegetation probably. But as you watch, and again, this is where I got up and we're out there chasing the boat down. I didn't know this till like the next day that it recorded this, but here I'm going to fast forward just a little bit because it takes a little bit. The boat's floating pretty slow, but you can see it's picking up really good imaging. Oh, here, right here. Oh, hang on. All right, so let me rewind. So right about here. This is probably pretty close to where I hooked it to, if I had to guess, because it had floated a little over halfway across the lake, across the it's kind of a cove there, and I was lucky enough to just cast one just perfect where it went over the boat, and the line hooked the boat itself to bring it back. But this is what it caught, and I was shocked when I saw this, but I knew it was out there because it kept hooking into something pretty big, and I was like, I know there's big fish out there, but I don't know what they're hanging me up on. So look at this. Right here is what it was seeing. So let me show you. So all these little curves right here, it's basically saying that this is fish activity, and it thinks it's pretty large fish activity according to what the sonar is bringing up. And you can see it's deeper here, so they're down in some type of a warm, shallow, warm, deep spot where it's not freezing cold like it was that particular day, but 19, 20 feet deep. But let me show you this is what happens when you put the fish icon on. I mean, it thinks that there's some pretty serious somethings down there, and you can see all these are medium to large style fish, and it's showing you all the depths of all of them. But the one I'm kind of interested in is this one right here, this green. It doesn't think that it's a fish, but boy, it sure is curved like it might be. It's got a curved signature, but I'm just kind of new to reading this, so sonar findings, but they make it a little bit easier than they used to. I know that. But I just wanted to show you guys that. It gets pretty boring after this. It's, you know, basically it's just, well, here, I'll show you. It goes, look, here, it's going right back up. This is where I'm dragging it in now. This is how you know that you're getting a bad signal, is because, watch what happens. See, look. So I'm pulling it in too fast now. This is when I hooked onto it, and basically I'm just pulling it back. It's essentially just, this sonar's all over the place. It's just bing, 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 bing. But it goes on for a little while longer while I'm reeling it in. But pretty neat though. So, all right, thanks. See ya.